I think this is a really hard question because I really don't think that there is just one benefit to having Diann and the dogs in the clinic. But I think if I were to have to try to sum it all up, I would say it's the love, the laughter, and the motivation that Diann and the dogs provide to help these kids reach their greatest potential and goals overall. But not only that, Diann really adds a lot to our team and the staff morale and really boosts that. And I feel like if the team is happy and the kids are happy, you know, we do our best work with the children. So I think, you know, for example, Diann and Prairie and Ovell have both worked with me and several of my patients, and we've done several different things, but primarily Diann and the dogs have worked with me on augmentative communication devices and motivating the children to build sentences and learn language. So we've done that in several different ways. We had one child in particular who loved to make Prairie be silly, and so Prairie, he would actually request different things from Prairie and Ovell, whether it was a ball or a car, and he particularly liked Prairie because Prairie would chase a electronic car down the hallway and act silly and be out of control and need Diann to bring him back. And so for him, it was very motivating to see Prairie being naughty. And then on the other hand, he really enjoyed Ovell because he could actually give Ovell commands and she would do specifically what he wanted her to do. And Prairie will do that as well. It's just that we can use the dogs in different ways. Well, I think, you know, having Diann and Prairie and Ovell overall, having dogs in the clinic in itself boosts the morale of both the patients and the team. But Diann is so organized, and she also develops our curriculum for our facility. So I think just Diann's energy and the dog's energy that they bring, that lifts the spirits of the staff and motivates the staff, and together we're able to provide a really high quality therapy for these children. So Diann and the dogs have assisted multiple times and in various ways. For instance, we've had a child who didn't want to get out of the car to come into therapy, and Diann will go out, and the child has the opportunity to walk the dogs into therapy, which makes a big difference for them. They're motivated, they're in charge, they have a job, they want to come into therapy. So that helps in that situation. There are times when a child is scared or upset, and Diann, you know, Diann does a great job of, even if she hears these things, she'll go check with the therapist and see if they're needed, and then the dogs end up being calming. They help the child calm down, they help the child come back into the therapy setting, and then, you know, at times Diann may leave after that, or she may stay and continue to motivate the child to increase their participation. We've also had situations where a child is afraid of going into the bathroom or brushing their teeth, and Diann may just go and have the dog sit in there, and to them just having the dogs is like having a friend. So it calms them and allows them to participate in the treatment.
The number one benefit, motivation. Those dogs, or those kids will do things for the dogs that there's no way that they would do for me. It just touches a different part of them, and they are just motivated in ways that, as a therapist, I have my bag of tricks, but I don't have a dog in my bag until I have Diann, Prairie, and Ovell.
I would say the number one benefit for me in using the dogs for therapy is that it allows me to accomplish the work of therapy more efficiently, because the kids are more motivated and they're generally just having more fun, and the reward of play with the dogs is wonderful. When children have difficulty thinking about anticipation of their therapy sessions, having the dogs there to look forward to for playtime and reward is a great motivator to get them out of the home, and helps the parents bring them to the therapy session to initiate their therapy. Some children have a hard time separating from their parents when it's time to be released from their parents to go to their therapy session. Several times I've used the dogs to help distract the child during that transition time, and they'll walk the dog to their therapy room, and that allows them to have a less emotional separation from their parents.
Oh gosh, there's so many, I can't just pick one. I mean, a few of them are when obviously they motivate the children. I mean, they're going to do so much more for the dogs than they'll do for us. I mean, we've had families that had to sit on their children to brush their teeth. And then after they get to work with Obel and Prairie, you know, they've been able to even go to the dentist and not been put under. The parents can brush their teeth now. We have, you know, children who didn't want to come to the clinic that are excited to come see Prairie and Obel. They're able to have that responsibility and that, you know, friendship with them that they don't have elsewhere. You know, that's definitely a benefit. I think we benefit from just having Diann in the clinic because she comes from a background of education, and so she's helped us with our curriculum and designing activities that are developmentally appropriate for our kids, you know, and utilizes the dogs to kind of encourage the children to try to do those things.
Providing a controlled motivation that then we are able to fade in a very systematic way, again with Diann's help, so that the kids start building more of an internal motivation and not relying on this external motivation, but just the dogs being there, just being in the room is enough sometimes for the kids to calm them and help them understand this isn't overly therapeutic, and that they can be successful.
I would say the number one benefit is definitely motivation. A lot of children are motivated by the dogs, whether they like them or don't like them, or are afraid of dogs. They'll definitely interact in one way or another. And eventually, even if they are kind of hesitant about the dogs at first, they come to realize that the dogs are probably a lot more fun than working with a therapist over and over again.